Good morning, Nebraska. This is the Nebraska News Radio Show, coming to you straight from the heart of the Cornhusker State, where we talk plain about the things that hit close to home for farmers tilling the soil, families raising kids in our small towns, and hardworking folks who built this place with sweat and grit. We are here every morning to cut through the fog and shine light on what is really going on in our great state. Let's turn our attention first to the retirement of longtime radio voice Gary Saddlemeyer from KFAB in Omaha. After decades behind the microphone shaping morning talk for listeners across the state, his exit marks the end of an era at a station that once felt like a trusted neighbor but has drifted under bigger corporate hands. Folks wonder what comes next for local airwaves when familiar voices step away and out-of-state owners fill the gap with more syndicated noise. That drift ties into the broader grip corporate and government influences have on Nebraska media. From big newspaper chains owning most dailies to television and radio stations echoing the same lines, our outlets too often push uniform stories that favor elite agendas over the real concerns of everyday people. Consolidation means less room for regional truth and more scripted coverage on everything from health mandates to social shifts, leaving Nebraskans hungry for independent voices that put our values first. Over in higher education, serious questions swirl around University of Nebraska at Omaha Chancellor Joanne Lee and whether she even holds United States citizenship while leading a public institution. Her background raises flags about ties abroad and policies that seem to favor outsiders with scholarships and opportunities, shortchanging our own kids who grew up here dreaming of a fair shot at college. On the governance front, Nebraska's many policy boards and appointed bodies play a huge role in shaping rules on everything from agriculture to education without much direct voter say. These behind-the-scenes panels can push changes that feel far removed from the common sense of folks on the ground, reminding us why we need to keep a close eye on who gets seated and what agendas they carry. Threats to our communities come in many forms, and restoring what makes Nebraska strong starts with confronting outside pressures head-on. From demographic shifts straining schools and services to cultural changes that clash with our traditional roots, it is time to stand firm for the heritage built by generations of hardworking families who put local control and shared values above everything else. Looking back at history, former Governor Kay Orr's decisions in the late 1980s opened the door to big meatpacking expansions that flooded small towns with cheap labor, sparking crime waves, school overloads, and community breakdowns that still echo today. Her choices prioritized corporate profits over protecting the stable, close-knit places Nebraskans cherish, serving as a hard lesson in how one leader's call can alter the state forever. Speaking of corporate sway, KFAB 1110 AM in Omaha stands as another example of how outside ownership scripts the conversation, diluting the independent spirit that once made talk radio a lifeline for rural listeners sharing their unfiltered takes. Now, a tough topic that cannot be ignored. Some voices draw parallels between historical subversions in far-off places and what is happening right here, warning of systematic efforts to undermine the civilizations built by European settlers through unchecked migration and policy favoritism. Whether in old apartheid debates or modern equity pushes, the concern is that global forces exploit local openings to erode the majority culture that defined our heartland strength. Shifting to concerns about foreign influence, figures like Senator Pete Ricketts face scrutiny for ties that could turn Nebraska into a staging ground for bigger national plays, from trade deals to policy stands that do not always put our farmers and families first. On a lighter but frustrating note for fans, the Nebraska Huskers wrapped another disappointing season with a lopsided bowl loss, highlighting backwards coaching choices under Matt Rule that wasted top talent like quarterback Dylan Raiola, who headed to the transfer portal after mishandled schemes and poor protection. From gimmicky traditions to ignoring in-state recruits, the program feels stuck in reverse, locked into big contracts that reward mediocrity over the winning grit Nebraskans expect on fall Saturdays. That covers the ground this morning, from media echoes and leadership questions to campus controversies, historical missteps, and gridiron letdowns. Nebraska faces real challenges from outside agendas creeping into our institutions, farms, schools, and airwaves, all while everyday folks foot the bill and watch traditions slip. It is up to us to stay sharp, demand accountability from elites, speak up at meetings and the ballot box, and fight for the local control that keeps this state special. Keep your eyes open, get involved where you can, and join us again tomorrow for more Straight Talk. This is the Nebraska News Radio Show, signing off until next time. Have a strong day out there.